Hey Year 9, welcome to another exciting class. Today we're going to be looking at linear modelling. Now, what is linear modelling? Well, let's talk about what happens. Often in real life, we can actually model things using a linear rule or a graph. Now, we'll be given some information and we're going to have to find the rule that links two different variables or two different things. We're going to sketch the graph after we've found the rule, and then we're going to use the graph to predict things. If we're asked to find the rate of change, that's a fancy way of saying find the gradient or the slope, because the rate of change, when you're dealing with straight lines, is the gradient of the straight line. Right, let's try our example, so hopefully this makes sense. We're given some information. Well, let's read the question. Dodgy Brothers Car Hire provides cars for hire at the rate of $40 per day plus 2 kilometres per kilometre travelled. Write the rule for the total daily cost, C, dollars, of hiring a car for 1 day and travelling, D, kilometres. Well, how much will it cost? Well, we know it costs $40 to hire the car for the day, so the cost is going to be $40 plus $2 for every kilometre that we travel. Now, we're travelling D kilometres, so it's $40 for the day plus $2 for every kilometre that we travel. So if you travelled 5 kilometres, it'd be 2 lots of 5. If you travelled 10 kilometres, it'd be 2 lots of 10, and so on. Now normally we don't write our lines like this. We normally have y equals mx plus b, or this doesn't have a y and an x, but we normally have our one variable by itself equals the next variable plus the number. So often you'd write it like this, 2d plus 40. Doesn't matter which way you write it though, because they're both correct. Part B says to draw a sketch. Now, we're drawing a sketch between 0 and 10. So it's possible that we just use 0 and just use 10, but I'm also going to use 5, the point in the middle, just to get a safety point, if you like. Now, if the car travels 0 kilometres, how much will it cost to hire it? Well, we're going to be charged $40 a day and $2 for every kilometre we travelled. So it's 2 lots of 0 if we've travelled no cost, it's just $40 for the day. What if we travel 5 kilometres? Well, let's use this formula. $40 for the day plus 2 lots of 5, 2 5s are 10, 40 and 10 make 50. What if it's travelled 10 kilometres? 40 plus 2 lots of 10, 2 lots of 10 are 20, 40 and 20 make 60. So now it's a case of sketching this. Now you need to remember that the letter that's first is taking the place of y, so it will be your vertical axis. So along the horizontal axis in this case, we're going to have distance in kilometres. And that is a mistake because D is not days. It should actually say distance in kilometres. And on the vertical axis, we've got our cost in dollars. And I probably could have cost in dollars written there. So let's plot our points. The first point that we're plotting is 0, 40. So out 0 kilometres, up 40, and we put a dot there. Then we go out 5, up 50, and we put a dot. Out 10, up 60, we put a dot. Join them, and there's our sketch of C versus D. Let's now find out what the total cost to hire a car for 1 day is if we only travelled 6 kilometres. Well, you could look at the graph and figure it out, go out 6 kilometres up and back, but it's a bit hard sometimes to get the exact amount, so let's use the formula. Now we know that we travelled 6 kilometres, which means D, the distance, is going to be 6. So where we see D, we put a 6 in its place. So instead of 2 times D, it's 2 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 plus 40 is 52. It will cost $52 to hire the car if we only drive 6 kilometres. Part D, if we're going to hire the car and it's going to cost $56 for the day, how far did the car travel? Well, now we know the cost. So in the formula where we see the cost, we're going to put 56 in its place. Let's minus 40 to both sides. 56 take away 40 is 16. Divide both sides by 2, and you get the distance is 8 kilometres travelled by the car if it was $56 to hire it for the day. So that's the process. You need to take information, create a formula, create a graph, and then figure out answers using your formula or your graph. Time to get into it. Enjoy the experience.